and welcome to the third episode of Operation Navy Watch. I'm Katerina Bandera. This episode is going to look at everything that the Royal Canadian Navy partook in November. We will reflect on Remembrance Day, check in with our sailors after a fire, and bust contraband in the Caribbean. Let's get down to it! For 111 years, Canadian sailors have answered the call for help within our own communities and around the globe. To honor the fallen and the current members of the Canadian Forces, members gathered across Canada with their communities to pause and remember those who served and continue to serve during times of war, conflict, and peace. Canadian sailors marked Remembrance Day on Canada's both coasts. CAF members gathered with the community at Grand Parade Square and Point Pleasant Park in Halifax. Others participated in ceremonial sail past on Canada's west coast. As reported by CTV News Vancouver, HMCS Brandon and Saskatoon and patrol-class training vessels Caribou and Moose sailed in formation on the commemorative voyage from Sydney to Esquimalt. Several Canadian Fleet Atlantic ships took part in Remembrance Day services at sea. On November 11th, Her Majesty's Canadian ships Fredericton and Montreal conducted Remembrance Day ceremonies at sea to stand in honor of all who have fallen. HMCS Winnipeg also took part in Remembrance Day ceremonies while being deployed to the Indo-Pacific.
Hey, I'm Sailor 3rd Class Baker on board HMCS Winnipeg. During Op Projection in Neon, I wear the poppy in honor and remembrance of those who fought and fell before us.
Bonjour, je suis matelot de 3e classe, André Cormier, avec NCSM Winnipeg, sur l'opération de projection, et je me souviens quand mes grands-parents avaient battu dans la Deuxième Guerre mondiale.
Hi, I'm Sailor 1st Class Tucker, aboard HMCS Winnipeg on Op Projection and Op Neon. Remembrance Day for me is not only about remembering those who perished in past conflicts, but those who've come home changed, those whom we've come home without, and the time we spent away from family we love.
Canadian sporting teams honored Canada's service members by hosting annual CAF Appreciation Nights throughout November. The CAF partners with sports teams from across the country to demonstrate support to the women and men who serve Canada. These evenings showcased the military and paid tribute to its successes. For example, Lieutenant Brendan Koo of HMCS York was recognized as Maple Leafs Hero of the Game during the game on November 21st. Season seat holders are encouraged to donate their ticket to deserving military members. Complimentary tickets are usually distributed through units to CAF members and D&D staff. CFB Esquimalt's base commander Captain Jeff Hutchinson and Petty Officer 1st Class Steve Morrison had the honor to drop the puck at the Victoria Royals game on November 6th. As passion for sports runs deep in most Canadian communities, CAF Appreciation Nights allow our fellow Canadians to say thank you to our military members for the pride, courage, and dignity they bring to the front lines.
From the Canadian Armed Forces who has attended tonight's game, on behalf of Jets fans across the country, thank you.
Thank you again to the season ticket holders who gave up their seats for military members to attend tonight. Congratulations to the Winnipeg Jets. Have a good night, and we'll catch you on the next one.
HMCS Montreal is under preparations for an upcoming deployment to the Black Sea. In November, the ship's company conducted workup training off the coast of Nova Scotia with Cyclone Strider from 12 Wings 423 Squadron. The training was done in preparation for their upcoming deployment on Operation Reassurance, during which Montreal will be contributing to European peace and security. Thanks to rigorous damage control training, HMCS Fredericton averted a disaster while being deployed off the coast of Norway. The first sign of trouble came around 5 a.m. local time when a distress call was received by a Norwegian rescue center that a military vessel has lost power. The ship was leading a NATO task force when the fire erupted in the frigate's forward engine room. No injuries were reported, and the ship proceeded towards a Norwegian port in Trondheim for inspections and repairs. Fredericton was assisted by several other NATO warships that were serving in standing NATO Maritime Group 1, as well as the Norwegian Coast Guard. While no one was hurt, it took the crew more than 20 minutes to put out the fire as they dealt with tight quarters and rough seas. In an interview with the Canadian press, Vice Admiral Craig Baines said that the fire that broke out on the ship was not because of a systematic issue in Canada's frigate fleet. Still, the 30-year-old warships are starting to show their age. CBC News reported in early 2020 that Canada's aging Halifax-class frigates have had at least 10 fire or smoke incidents since 2018. At the end of November, HMCS Winnipeg conducted a multilateral exercise in the Philippine Sea with 4 other nations. Canada was joined by naval forces from Australia, Germany, Japan, and the US in a multinational exercise Annual X-21 from November 21st to November 30.
Annulex is a yearly naval training event held in an effort to strengthen enduring relationships while sharpening naval proficiencies at all levels.
The exercises included communication tactics, anti-submarine and air warfare operations, replenishments at sea, cross-deck flight operations, and interdiction maneuvers. Annual X provides an opportunity for Canada and partners to build upon existing combat capabilities and enhance readiness across all platforms. The exercise was part of HMCS Winnipeg's commitment to a free and open Indo-Pacific. In a press release from the commander of U.S. Pacific Fleet, HMCS Winnipeg's commanding officer Doug Layton said that the Royal Canadian Navy is proud to be part of the significant exercise that serves to enhance interoperability and integration among allied and partner nations. HMCS Harry DeWolf became the first Arctic and offshore patrol ship to deploy on Operation Carib and successfully confiscate narcotics on their first drug bust.
Roger, Papa 15, Mike 15, fire when ready.
In early November, Harry DeWolf assisted the U.S. Coast Guard with enhanced counter-narcotic operations in the Caribbean Sea and Eastern Pacific. On November 8, the bridge crew spotted a vessel of interest which turned out to carry more than 1,300 kilos of cocaine. On November 18, a second vessel of interest was detected. This second successful interdiction resulted in a seizure of 1,200 kilos of cocaine. Harry DeWolf is not the first Canadian ship to make history during narcotic busts. During Operation Artemis in Middle Eastern waters this spring, HMCS Calgary's crew conducted a record-breaking 17 successful counter-narcotic seizures, more than any other single ship in the history of the multinational operation. During the operation, HMCS Harry DeWolf used a drone to get a better picture of the area. The drone can carry a camera and fly as far as 24 kilometers from the ship. Harry DeWolf helped seize a total of 11,800 kilos of cocaine from 8 drug smuggling vessels off the Pacific coast of Latin America. After transiting the Panama Canal and conducting drug patrols in the Caribbean, Harry DeWolf made a stop in Norfolk, Virginia.
Her Majesty's Canadian ship Harry DeWolf arriving this week at Naval Station Norfolk.
During the visit, U.S. Coast Guard Deputy Commander Rear Admiral Keith Smith presented Harry DeWolf's captain, Commander Corey Gleason, 2 snowflake decals. Those are displayed on the port side of Harry DeWolf to mark the drug seizures during Operation Carib. This year's Remembrance Day was particularly special. In 2021, the poppy marks 100 years as a symbol of remembrance in Canada. The poppy was first adopted on July 6, 1921, following the First World War. Today, the poppy continues to be worn in honor of the millions of Canadians who have served and continue to serve Canada during times of war, conflict, and peace. The poppy as a symbol for remembrance in Canada started with a French woman. Inspired by the famous In Flanders Fields poem, a woman named Madame Anna Garon persuaded the Great War Veterans Association at the time to adopt the poppy as a symbol of remembrance. She made poppies out of fabric and sold them as a way of raising money for veterans' needs. As a former Sea Cadet, I remember standing out there with a poppy box asking for donations, but people would get discouraged when they realized that they don't have any cash on them. Now things have changed. You can support the troops by tapping your phone or purchase a digital poppy with cryptocurrency. November 1st, 1914, Canada sustains the first casualties of the Great War and the first ever casualties in the history of the Royal Canadian Navy. 4 midshipmen of the first graduating class of the Royal Naval College of Canada die in action at the Battle of Coronel. November 21, 1954, HMCS Labrador arrives in Halifax after transiting the Northwest Passage. Labrador is the first vessel to circumnavigate North America. November 25, 1937, HMCS Venture II is commissioned. Venture was the only sailing ship in service with the RCN on the eve of the Second World War. The Royal Canadian Navy was saddened by the passing of Commander Lloyd David Sweeney, who died on November 28 at the age of 70. The Naval Association of Canada was saddened by the passing of National Past President Captain Jim Carruthers, who passed away on November 2nd. On November 23rd, Commodore Colin Forsberg was appointed as commander of the 3rd Arctic and Offshore Patrol Ship HMCS Max Bernays. Congratulations to HMCS Carleton's training chief CPO2 Michelle Seaman, who won the CWO Dan Bristol Award of the Advanced Leadership Program. Congratulations to Lieutenant Commander Jonathan Maurice for making his first day at sea in command of HMCS Moncton on November 15. On November 29, the infamous Petty Officer First Class Kurt Arnold has retired. Arnold has accepted the reserve cook position at HMCS Scotian. And with that, we conclude our November edition of Operation Navy Watch. If you would like to contribute ideas or topics for discussion, please feel free to reach out on Twitter or Instagram. I'm Katarina Bandura. See you next time!